Near, what's up? Hey, gamer. I'm doing okay. Just chilling. I subbed you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Are you just starting out on streaming? I've been streaming for a while, mostly on Twitch though. $59.33 for Amy. I started 3 weeks ago. I barely have 21 subscribers. I didn't really have any subscribers until I uploaded the video that I uploaded and it got 100K, but that's mostly because I just stream on Twitch. But also I don't think people are super interested in full-out shiny hunting. I don't think it's a great viewer experience generally. So for what most people want anyways. Amy, we didn't take saffron. Could you bring me a CoQ10 too? Is that crazy? Is that wacky? I'd appreciate it.
Hi, what are you doing, Aries? What are you doing? What are you doing? You be good.
Can you jump up? Okay. Alright. We got an Aries. Everyone say hi, Aries. Hi, Aries. Whoa, relax. Relax. Don't hit me with your jump. We good. What are we doing? What's going on?
Oh, there she is.
I don't care either way. Yeah, she's very good. She's pretty good. Likes my beard.
Hey, whoa! No attacking. Hey. Hey. Hey.
Nope, no more. You're good. Go on. Skedaddle. That's enough attention for you. We can't keep doing this. We can't. Alright, I need a sparkly. I'll be right back. Let's do a walkway. Quick walkway. Hi, I'm Jesus. Any idea how many encounters you're up to? We're at about 22,000. Let me do some math real quick. Doesn't sound right now that I say it. Or maybe like 21. Let me see. One. Alright. Two. About, yeah, a little over 21,000. Wait. That doesn't seem right either. 134 divided by 51 times 8192. About 21.5. 21.5. Yeah, so I was right. Yeah, about 22, but yeah, 21.5. Only a little over odds. Yeah, just a tiny bit. Just a wee bit. I'm used to it. Historically, I've had some incredible peaks of luck, and then also generally had not great luck when it comes to getting things by odds. Certainly. It's not the worst luck. And I feel like it's sort of been compensated for by the incredible moments of luck that I've had. You know, like the double Gligar. That is incredible. That will probably never happen to almost anyone who shiny hunts. And then Skitty. Skitty was wacky goofy. Ghastly, we got Ghastly in gold on the first encounter of that day. It wasn't the first encounter of the hunt, but it was the first encounter of that day. So that was sick. And then anything else really wacky? I think those are the most wacky, crazy events. And then in gold, we've had incredible luck. We've had very, very ridiculously good luck, specifically in gold. Like 2,000 encounters shiny, 2,000 encounters shiny, 1,000 encounters shiny, 2,000 encounters shiny, 1,000 encounters shiny, 3,000 encounters shiny, 1,000 encounters, shiny. 1,000 encounters and shiny. 5,000, shiny. 2,000, shiny. After using multiple emulators for hunts, I've come to realize multiple instances just means more encounters faster. Yeah. It's the same as speed up. It's the same as using a shiny charm. It's all the same thing. It's all just getting to the big number faster. Yeah. You're able to demonstrate luck like more visibly, right? Like it's kind of like, imagine you had a calculator, and what the calculator does is it does 8192 rolls for you at 8192, and every single time you click it, it tells you whether you got your result or not, right? And you don't have to sit there and do each encounter. You just click the calculator and it goes, you were successful this time, you weren't successful this time. You'll be successful 63% of the time, and then the rest of the 37% of the time it'll say fit. So basically a 2 out of 3 to get the shiny by odds, roughly. A little bit less than a 2 and 3, but you get the idea. The more hunts that you do, the more likely it is that you have very over odds hunts, very under odds hunts, or that you have statistical anomalies. All of those things are more likely the larger of a sample size that you have. So if you're able to just do shiny hunts faster, if you're able to get them done faster, you will tend to see more extremes in luck. At least you're supposed to, on average, see more extremes in luck. I'm doing 18 instances for horde hunts, so 90 encounters at one time. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because yeah, you'd be looking at what 100? Yeah, 100 resets, or actually, well, if you're doing hordes, so you're at 4096, so you're actually looking at 50 resets per shiny average, or 50 net random encounters. The insane thing is it's 9 for 9 for us. The insane thing is that Alpha Cyber Game has found 5. Omega Ruby has only found the starter. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty unlikely. Yeah. If you consider it a 50-50 like split, the chances of getting all of the shinies on one side is they're 1 in 32. It's not like ridiculous, but like obviously it's taken you a long time to demonstrate that sample size, so it makes it less likely because you don't have as many opportunities to have a chance at that, if that makes sense. You know, you could say to someone like, oh, it's 1 in 100 rare, and most people, because they don't understand, they'll be like, no, that's not that rare. Like that's not that bad, you know? Like, oh, if I, you know, if I'm playing a game and like, I'm fighting a boss and it's like a 100 drop, that's like not a big deal. But then it's like, what if I told you that 1 in 100 chance, you could only take it once a year, right? So you get that 1 in 100 chance, but you're on a year cooldown after. They'd be like, oh, yeah, that's rare. So it's like people understand the idea that rarity is both the chances of something happening, but also the frequency of the chances happening, but they don't put that together. They just want it. They'd want to look at a big number and be like, that's rare. You know, they don't want to think anything beyond that, but it's just intrinsically rarity will always tie in frequency of chances in the same way that it ties in the chance of the thing happening. That's why I think the overworld shinies made them easier, because people can see shinies. You see fewer failed. You see fewer failed? Oh, like you don't... You're saying that you don't see, like, the non-shinies. Like, you don't look at it the same. Yeah. Also, with the shiny charm is just is effectively the same thing as 3 consoles, right? So, you just can't see the rolls. So it's rolling for a unique individual Pokemon that would have a PID. And what the game is doing is it's going, is it shiny? And it goes, no, it's not shiny, so I'm not going to show that one to you. And then it goes, is the next one shiny? And it goes, no, it's not shiny. I'm not going to show that one to you. And then the last one, it goes, is it shiny? Well, it doesn't matter because this is what you get. If it's shiny or not, this is what you get. So basically it goes, let me just check a couple of encounters before I give you this last encounter. And if one of those is shiny, I'll give that to you instead. Overall, Chinese didn't make them, like, faster because of any of that, though. It makes it faster because you just see encounters faster. You just see more Pokemon more quickly. You know, you just do... There are 15 encounters on your screen at once on Switch 1, and there's, like, 40 on your screen, Switch 2. So... I would say yes and no, because the thing is that the encounter isn't generated until you run into the Pokemon. So if you're running past a Pokemon, you're not necessarily, you don't know if you're running past a shiny, because if you run past the Pokemon and don't encounter it, and then you come back and you encounter it, it's going to be a different PID than when you were last next to it. It'll be every frame, it's going to be a new PID. It generates the encounter when you encounter it. So like yes and no. I see what you're saying, but yeah. Its shininess isn't determined until you encounter it. So right now, if I see a Pokemon and I'm like, I'm going to encounter it right now, and I encounter it right now, and then I'm like, oh, let me wait 5 seconds, and I encounter it, those are 2 different Pokemon. 2 different PIDs, 2 different chances at shininess. But you're able to check. Not the case for Overworld. RNG community confirmed as soon as it pops onto the Overworld. In Sword and Shield? I've seen people save right in front of an encounter, like a overworld encounter, not a static, and save their game and then close their software and then turn the software back on and get into the same exact overworld encounter over and over, and then eventually get the shiny. I think you might be right, though. That's what it's saying here. It rerolls on certain overworld. Oh, it's probably because of size. Oh, on game reboot? Oh, okay, that would explain it. That would explain it then. Yeah, that's the discrepancy. It's the reason rare encounters for reason. It's the reason for rare encounters to increase odds getting them. You save, then KO it to spawn a new one, hoping it's the same Pokemon. That's weird. I've seen people. Just reset and then eventually get the shiny. Maybe something else was going on. It's weird. Why'd they do it that way? That's where the RNG community is handy. They dig into these things for regular shiny hunters. Yeah, I had also been told specifically that's not how it worked, but according to everything I can find, it's determined, like, it stores it in the overworld data, all of the information on the Pokemon, including their PID, which at the time of generation would determine shininess based on your TID and SID. So it's, yeah, if it spawns in, it's shiny or not shiny at that point. That makes sense with fishing. With fishing, or do you even see Pokemon? I don't even think I've seen fishing in Sword and Shield, to be honest. Fishing you don't. If it's a brilliant fishing spot, it'll be that same Pokemon consistently. Interesting. Test that one out myself, fishing for Dummies out of curiosity. Yeah. You caught it same, and it had same stats and everything, I'm assuming. $20 times back to back. I'd be confident after 2. I think after 2, I mean, the chances of having the same stats in nature, even if it's not fully leveled, so like the discrepancy between the IVs isn't as much, if it had the same nature and all the same stats, I'd be like, okay. That's cool. Actually, on this silver cartridge is a reproduction, and the day-night cycle isn't working. Like the clock doesn't progress, and so when I was hunting, I didn't know how the RNG worked in it, and I for some reason didn't bother to look it up how it worked. But I was like, oh no, like I'm gonna hit the same because the clock isn't progressing, and in later games like Heart Gold Soul Silver, like it's based on the clock. Right. Now, it's based on the DS clock, so I guess it's different, but still, you get the idea. I was like, oh no, I'm going to get the same Cyndaquil. And so I kept doing Cyndaquil, and I kept checking the stats and, like, documenting them. And I was just like, I haven't seen any of the, like, exact same ones, like, stats-wise. Or, like, I've seen some, like, close ones, but they haven't been, like, exact matches. And I was like, am I just bad at mashing to, get the Cyndaquil? Or, like, am I not hitting the same Cyndaquils? I definitely wasn't hitting the same Cyndaquils because for those games, the RNG just defaults to the same exact RNG on startup, and then it like sort of randomizes when you soft reset. On a different note, if you saved in front of a brilliant fishing spot, happen to be shiny, odds are you can save in front of a shiny. Oh, true. Yeah. I inhaled my water, no. It's shiny and non-shiny were reversed between gens? Eh? Oh yeah, in Gen 2 it's like weird. It's not even like necessarily an orange. It's like a brown and then the shiny is green instead. Yeah. I wondered what was up with that. Blake, it's Mewtwo Sunday, that's right. We're about to get it actually. You got here just in time. We're not gonna go triple over odds. That'd be weird. And that doesn't happen to me. Gen 2 Cyndaquil favorite sprite for me. Yeah, it's so much better, like the purple fire vibe. Yeah. I wish they didn't get rid of it. That and Charizard, some of the greatest travesties of them changing the shinies between Gens 2 and 3. Like, I get it, we want to pander with Charizard, because everyone loves Charizard, so you gotta give them a black and red shiny. Because that's epic, but... Yeah, I've seen the green flame thing. What was up with that? What are we doing? There's a lot of Coliseum shinies that were, like, wacky goofy. I don't even know what they were thinking. I've always thought that having alternate shiny palettes would be cool, and having them be like, you know, 1 in 8 when you get a shiny, like it's an alternate palette, so it's like a Giga Shiny. Yeah, Suicune has like the black, right? Yeah, it has black. First of all, it's on our Antonio too. Sometimes he had the Coliseum Suicune on for a long time just as a passive hunt. I need to switch to Twitch. I don't think I fit in with the YouTube demo. I think Twitch is a better viewer experience, generally. You can put sprites on the screen. You get channel points. There's more layout. There's an on-screen chat. You can see the second screen on DS. I don't run any ads, is the thing. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'll just watch on YouTube because I have YouTube Premium, but I don't run ads. So you will get a pre-roll, but I have ads turned off. I can't turn off pre-rolls, but I have ads turned off otherwise. So 0 ads. Huge. I will say I don't have my heart set on doing the YouTube streams. Like, it's a fine thing to have on the side, but I would say, like, a lot of the interactions with chatters are not very satisfactory. Like, there's a lot of pretty young people, it seems like. There's a lot of people who want a negative reaction. And a lot of people that are just like, I don't know, kind of like, it's kind of like they've never watched a stream before, you know? And, like, it's fine, but it just means sometimes some interactions can be a little frustrating. Like, when people are like, what are you shiny hunting? And it's like, I will say this, YouTube in general has less monetization hungry. Twitch has better experience. Yeah, the thing about Twitch is that if I'm not subscribed to someone, and I don't have Turbo because I don't watch Twitch enough anyways, but if I'm not subscribed to someone, it is almost unwatchable to a certain extent. And, like, the fact that when I go to Twitch and I click on a stream, the first thing that happens is I get a minute of pre-rolls is crazy to me. It's like, wow, it's like you are not even trying to keep people on your platform. Like, no wonder Twitch doesn't have that many people using it. Like, people think of, like, oh, it's the biggest streaming platform, and it is for all, like, important reasons, but, like, they must alienate so many people because they go to Twitch and instantly get a full minute ad, 30-second pre-roll, minute pre-roll, minute. I've gotten minute 30 pre-rolls. That might have been bad luck, and I was getting their actual, like, their ads, like, ran to me, like, the second I joined the stream, but it's happened too many times to not be pre-rolls, so. The thing is, too, the crazy thing, too, is that people have control over it. I know they do, too, and, like, you can tell Twitch to run less pre-rolls. You can't stop them from running pre-rolls, but you can tell them, like, don't run big pre-rolls. And then also you can tell Twitch not to run ads. Like when I go to someone's stream and they have like 8 viewers and they're running like 3-minute ad breaks every 15 minutes, I'm like, come on, dog. Like you can't be making that much money off of this. Probably making like 14 cents a day for an 8-hour stream with that. Like it's not worth it. It's not worth it for the viewers. Listen, if I had a bunch of people watching for some reason, I don't suspect that'll happen anytime soon, but if I had a bunch of people watching, like, I don't know, over 100 people or something, maybe it'd be worth it to run ads, and I'd run a few ads, and I'd be like, oh, that's fair enough. I mean, you can, if you're watching a lot, you can subscribe. It's not that big of a deal. And like, oh, you're not going to get that many ads, but you'll get some ads every once in a while. Okay. I would do it. I'm not against it, but like, I'm a 5 to 10 viewer Andy, and I don't anticipate that will change much. And so why would I run ads to people? It's crazy. I just look for streams while hunting myself just to not go insane. Yeah, you when you're shiny hunting, you have to find something else to do. Like, I think a lot of people watch, like, TV shows and stuff like that. Movies, whatever. They'll watch YouTube videos. Like my YouTube video. I think, actually, for some people, I think the video is not what they want to watch when they're shiny hunting, though. Probably the opposite of what they want to watch. I'll do that for hunts I don't have to think as much during. Yeah, it's pretty rare to find hunts that actually are super involved. So, but yeah, there are some hunts that are more involved. You like, yeah, like you're the target demographic to watch it while you're shiny hunting. Let's Go's more active just because I'm throwing the ball. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Once you get the shiny. Oh, I guess if you're chaining. Chaining doesn't even work, though, doesn't it? Like, you have to... It doesn't work the way it's intended to, so you have to, like, keep the chain going. You have to keep chaining. And only, like, the subsequent encounter has the higher chance of being a shiny, if I remember correctly. But yeah, once you get the shiny, yeah. Right? It was intended for you to only get a single boosted roll instead of maintaining a, like, higher chance at a shiny. That seems weird because no other chaining mechanic has ever worked that way. And then all of a sudden they have a chaining mechanic and they make it very unintuitive and don't explain to anybody anywhere that each subsequent one is a boosted. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. But was it not discovered that when you are doing a chain in Let's Go, that you do not maintain the boosted shiny odds basically anything beyond the next encounter? That's the impression I was under. And it's a problem because it means that its chaining isn't really that worth it. You get a higher chance of, like, Hit 31, next one of that spawn's boosted. Catch 32, next one is boosted. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. If you continue to do the chain, but you can't just like maintain the chain and then just respawn, which is the impression that people were under for a long time. And a lot of people were doing it and they were like, why am I not getting a shiny? Radar, I was under the impression that radar, you maintain the boosted chances without having to do any additional encounters. I don't know about DexNav. I saw Megan doing a radar hunt, and then she had a chain of like 18, and she would just like run around and like look at the patches and then run around a certain amount of steps. You do once you hit a chain. Yeah. You don't have to keep doing encounters. Which I think makes a pretty substantial difference, for sure. DexNav and chain fishing work same as catch combo. Yeah. But it's not like with chain fishing, it's not like you can... I think it's a bit different because with chain fishing, the intention is like, hey, every time you catch a Pokemon with your fishing rod, then you have an increased chance. Right. I think it's... The fact that they had to discover that's how it worked, too, means I think it's a bit unintuitive, at least. It being intended is crazy to me, because I just think nobody thought it worked that way. Maybe they just thought people would get it. Radar is more involved, though, because you have to be careful to not get an encounter by accident when you're like running around to get your steps in or whatever. Catch combo is a hidden Pokemon mechanic for comboing. It's hidden? How did people discover it if it's hidden? I mean, how would they know it's working? It's the kind of mechanic you would see in older games. You mean one that's not like intuitive to people? Or that's not like explicitly explained? If they're not like neon sign like, hey, you should catch combo? I guess you're saying? I missed that, by the way. It was made for me when the disillusionment was setting in. Yeah, I think a lot of people like had some similar thoughts. A lot of people said that on the video. They were like, wow, I thought this, and I watched that video that you talked about, and like I was like, what the heck? What the hell? Also, interestingly too, with the Worcester situation that I talked about, 2 YouTubers made videos talking about it and kind of saying my almost exact sentiments. And I was like, okay. Because I thought, when you go and look at the comments on any of the Worcester stuff, he has so many, like, defenders. And it makes it feel like most people kind of think what happened was okay, you know? And to see larger content creators make videos being like, yeah, no, that was weird as hell. Yeah, it was sus. And here's all this other sus stuff, like, validating. Closer to how DexNav works. Yeah, I don't know anything about Duck Snap. As long as you KO or catch the Pokemon, it continues the chain. Yeah, and then like catching gives you like a slight boost in the chain or whatever, or something. This shiny Ziggy hit. It's pretty good. You're failing it? What do you mean? You're just not gonna catch it? Just YOLO? I don't need another one. Yeah, I feel like I would still catch it. I just want to have like documentation that it happened, but I get it. Just like having it around, you know, just like having a box full of shiny Zigzagoons, I think would be kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? I'll be right back. I need a sparkly. I got these Mason Perrier sparklies. I'll give my opinion on it when I'm back. I don't know if Sloan's still here, but Sloan's the one who really needs to hear this. Sparkle review. I got this Mason Perrier. It was expensive. It was expensive. This was, for an 8-pack, it was $8. No sodium. It's not no juice, just sparkling water with flavor. Carbonation, mid. Not very sharp. Water quality, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell because the lime flavor is so like weird. Like it's like a different species of lime. It's like they got natural flavors and like, well, they took like a weird flavor of lime I've never had, and like that made that a natural flavor, right? Because natural flavors are artificially made, but it's like matching a flavor that exists in nature. That's why they call it a natural flavor, right? At least that's the impression I'm under. And that was at 11.7. Oh, we going over odds. But yeah, so it's like a weird lime, and it's not a pleasant like aftertaste. Like at first you're like lime, and then it has this weird aftertaste. It's not very good. I'm not a huge fan. I'll give it like a 4 out of 10. Like I have to drink all these. I'm going to drink all these. I'm not gonna put them in waste. $8, but like what a kind of scam, right? Like the carbonation's mid too. That's the worst part. The carbonation's not even that good. Yeah, it's weird carbonation. It reminds me more of like more like club soda carbonation, kind of. I don't know if the carbonation's different or if it's just whatever's in club soda, like the extra salt in club soda that like makes it like that. Maybe the salt creates some kind of thing with like nucleation points or something where you get like bigger bubbles, because the bubbles are pretty big in this. And I know there's no salt in this, but I'm just saying like general. Maybe that's why the carbonation is at least different in club soda. But one of my favorite root beers is a brand called Bundaberg. It's a pain to find. I know that pain because Polar, my favorite brand of water, like none of the stores around me have it, or like don't have any flavors of it. There's one grocery store that has 3 flavors, and none of them are like my top tier flavors. They have black cherry lime, and then they have the cranberry, cranberry orange, right? The cranberry lime. I don't remember. It's one of those. Oh, Cranberry Clementine. I've seen the expensive Perrier, could never go for it. In my mind, it's always the cheap brand that comes in plastic bottles you find in the airport snack shops. Yeah, and why is this $8? Like, I was like, this has to be like they're stepping up their game, because I know them as like a mid kind of like bottled water brand too, right? Like, it's like San Pellegrino ripoff. Like, they want to be San Pellegrino. You know the crazy thing too? It is made in France. It is literally, crafted in the south of France. Does that mean that this actually was, it says created by Maison Perrier. Does that mean it actually was like canned or bottled somewhere else? It says crafted in the south of France, which is a weird phrase. Product of France, no. Distributed by Nestle out of Arlington. Okay. But that doesn't mean, it means it was canned in France. Like, they made it in France. Okay. Well, France, you need to get it together. Remember before Bud Light lost its core consumer base? Only reason people bought it was people didn't care about flavor after the first. And I think part of it too is that, one, it's very chuggable, and so it became very big in like party culture in the same way that like Natty Light is popular in party culture. It's so inoffensive in a way, like it doesn't taste like much. Like, the flavor that is there isn't great, but it doesn't taste like much. And so when you're drinking it, if you're not thinking about it, like, it doesn't stand out to you. And so you can drink it without thinking about it. It's very chuggable because it doesn't have a lot of flavor. And they just kind of had that momentum of like appealability. It's like elevator music in a way. I guess some people hate elevator music, but you get the idea. You know, it's like some smooth jazz. Like, someone's like, I'm not mad that this is on. If I had the choice between no music and this music, like, okay. And like, if I wanted a music to have that I feel like everyone would like, enough for them to listen to it, I'm gonna have the Bud Light of music. The whole thing is not what to do marketing wise. It's cheap and chuggable. You know, the funny thing is that I think that their whole thought process behind that whole like marketing campaign, as a jazz musician, I heard a lot. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Listen, I think jazz actually can be really good and listenable, but I think a lot of the time more generic music ends up being like jazz oriented, if that makes sense. You know, like, if you want some like B-roll music, a lot of the time it ends up being jazz, but it could be lit. It could be lit. But yeah, so the whole marketing thing, I think their idea, they were like, okay, listen, it's people like 18 to 24 somehow for a beer, like 18 to 24 is their demographic, right? But like, they're like, oh, people 18 to 24, and they're like, people who are 18 to 24 are more sensitive and are more open to like social issues and these like ideological issues and stuff like that, and this is like one of the biggest appeals to that demographic. But what they didn't realize is that that cut of that demographic was all frat boys who are incredibly likely to be conservative, and so it just missed that group that they were trying to hit with the marketing campaign, because it's like, oh, people 18 to 24 are like 70 to 80% chance to like this ad and be engaged with it or be neutral on it at worst, right? But then the 20% was the entire chunk of that demographic that they had was conservative frat boys. And I think that, with that said, of course, the rest of their core like drinking base, like half of them are or more than half of them are generally conservative. So it would have blown over if they had stuck to it and not tried to backtrack so much. Yeah, they're still not doing bad though. I think people kind of forgot about it for the most part. 49.28 for Edge. I know that they lost the spot as like the #1 beer brand and haven't recovered that. I don't think they're doing too bad though, right? It's not like horrible. Good luck on the radioactive MEWTWO. Hope it shines through me too. Thank you, Lance. I haven't seen it restocked in stores around me. They're not selling Bud Light? Eh? That sounds weird to me. That, like, I don't think stores stopped stocking it. I think people just bought less of it. Wait, what? They haven't stocked it? Sales only dropped 25% during the Dylan Mulvaney thing and the Pride thing. They lost about 1.4 billion in sales. That's gross. It still was the third highest selling beer. It wasn't moving, so the stores reallocated. Do you live in like... You have to live in like that one town where only white people can live in Alabama or something. Like, I think if they just don't have Bud Light, because it's still the third best selling beer in the US. Yeah, it's still the third best selling. Something's wrong with the area you live in if they don't have Bud Light. Maybe they moved it or something? Oh, and they're increasing. Okay, so annual revenue between 2023 and 2024 was actually still an increase. It was a 0.65% increase, but that's not enough to keep them in first. And then between 2024 and 2025, they actually had a decline, but a lot of that is perceived to be... I live in the middle of Mormonville. That would explain it too, considering Mormons don't drink alcohol. But like, also like, why is there's some dynamic happening there. But then 2024 to 2025, they saw a 0.75% decline, which even a 1% decline is really bad for a company that's supposed to be growing. The idea is you're supposed to keep growing, so a lack of growth is bad, but decrease is very bad. But then they had a 7% increase between 2025 and 2026. Actually, by June, they've actually had an 11.04 increase. So net, they have had, since the incident, they've had an increase, but not as much of one as they would have had. So yeah, they're still doing fine. But yeah, it not being restocked. MEWTWO is such a hear me out. I mean, the thighs. Sometimes I feel big brands have a terrible understanding of the market. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like that the people who are writing the marketing are looking at consumers from an outside perspective instead of looking at it like by being in their shoes. It's kind of like sympathizing instead of empathizing, you know? So I think that's how those kinds of marketing disasters can happen. Hey, what's up, Cogs? Hey, Gamer, we're just chilling. I think most of them grew a taste for higher quality beers around here. That would make sense too, yeah. I will say that whatever trends you've seen in your market, I think are a fluke though, because yeah, it's still one of the better selling, or it's one of the best selling beers still, so. Definitely not at a point where it's like, don't stock it. I never drink beer anyways because I don't like it. I love beer, but I like good beer. Like, I don't like Bud Light or whatever. I love Corona though. Corona's delicious. I think Corona's amazing with the lime. Is it the same without the lime though? Not really. I haven't consumed any alcohol for about a year though. So, just because some health stuff. We were at a Mexican store and I was tempted to buy some Mexican beer, but I was like, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. I have been feeling unusually okay. I saw some citrus Corona in the store and considered it. Wait, we had those citrus ones and they kind of sucked, Amy. Don't you remember? They had like a weird sweetness to them. You don't remember that? Yeah, we didn't like them. You didn't like them. I specifically got that because you saw it at the store and you were like, that sounds good. And you tried it, and I tried it, and we were like, oh, it's mid. You gotta just regular Corona it, and then lime it. That's what you gotta do. Yeah, but I like IPAs a lot. Like, I like really hoppy IPAs, like the Giga Hoppy IPAs. I love it. And then I really like stouts. Drink like once a month at most, yeah. If I drink anything at all, it'll be a rum and Coke. That's pretty palatable. Because you kind of don't taste the alcohol at a certain point. IPA's growing on me. Yeah. I don't think anybody should ever really like not normally drink bitter things and then drink an IPA and be like, that's tasty. It's almost like you have to drink it a few times and then you start to be like, wait a minute. It's like a hear me out moment. It's like a hear me out moment. That's only when a sales manager at work takes me off. Reactive drinking. I think that's very good. You should drink proportionate to the amount of stress that you're under. Actually. Scientifically proven to be the most healthy thing. Beer gets overshadowed by sparkling water since it's not as bubbly. There can be beers that are as bubbly, but yes, basically no beers, yeah. I mean, High Life actually has good carbonation. Don't drink, I agree. It's best to avoid it. Only a shot. There you go. No drinking and streaming. Why are you assuming that I'm consuming alcohol? Why are you assuming that? Because the subject came up? Liquor in small doses is good for your liver. I'm skeptical of that. Wasn't all that red wine stuff like basically correlation? Liquor in small volumes is not good for your liver. A healthy liver can process small amounts of alcohol without severe or permanent harm. It doesn't provide any health benefits to the organ. Every drop of alcohol forces your liver to work harder to break it down. Breakdown process creates harmful chemical called acetaldehyde that can damage cells and DNA. There's no safe level of alcohol consumption. I'm sorry. Because you can't read my name? It's like in another language. So... I don't think I could really be expected to do that. It might just be some special characters, I'm not sure. They're from your AA meetings. It looks jumbled to you? No, it just looks like special characters. Yeah. I think you know that too. I think you put some funky characters in your name and then that's like your talking point. Where are you getting this from? I think you're drunk. It's the pot calling the kettle black. It's projection. This is insane. Listen, you have to stop doing this. You have to stop getting intoxicated and coming into streams and then accusing people of consuming alcohol, okay? You gotta stop. It's gotta stop here. This is the last time. Heisenberg. Amy, you saw that coming. Caught in 1080p. I don't think my stream's in 1080p. So, sorry. It's like 720 max. I have delay. I typed before you said it. Yeah, yeah. That's what I was saying. We thought of the same thing at the same time. Say my name. That makes me think of the hat getting bigger. (1080p 60 FPS). That's fake. Yeah. Yeah, my bitrate's only 6,000, so I guess maybe they say that, but they might get that, but it's impossible unless you stream at it. Yeah, I figured. Stay safe, you too. Later, gamer. It's all fun. I know. Most people would just ban you if they felt like any kind of opposition. So maybe that's proof that I have a sense of humor. Upskilling. Yeah, they've been doing that. I've been seeing some weird videos there. I don't feel like it was the intention for them to look the way they do. Tomorrow's Monday. It is. Unfortunate. I don't work on Mondays. But, like, also, like, having a day off, or, like, getting off of work and then having the next day off almost feels better than having the day off. Because, like, you're just, like, thinking about working or having to do whatever on your day off. Hopefully you learn to say my name someday. I don't think I will. Probably not. $6.21 for Amy. Ignorance is bliss. I thought you were going. You skedaddle. What are you doing? Come on now. Bye-bye. Amy, I'm thinking about that quesadilla. It was so good. It was insane. I'm not even hungry yet, but I'm just thinking about it. Yeah. Back to what we were talking about before we were rudely interrupted. Not really, but why Jen? What made it good? Why/Jen? What made it good? The meat was cooked very well. It was juicy. it had like a real like grill, like a grill flavor on it, like a good like almost like charbroiled flavor. And then the tortilla was delicious, and then the cheese was good, and it was well seasoned, and it just everything that I want in a quesadilla. How much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? 6, 7. Oh yeah, but I really love IPAs. I love the bitterness. I love when IPAs just go kind of overboard with the hops. And like the Hopsecutioner beer that like I've seen multiple people talk about on YouTube. That wasn't even that hoppy. It was pretty hoppy, but it wasn't that, it was like I've had hoppier beers, but it was delicious. And then I love stouts. Stouts are so good. The chocolate and the coffee flavor and everything. Huge fan. Love having a good stout. Something really nice about stouts too is if you like stouts, like Guinness is genuinely like a good stout. Like it's just a good, straightforward, like basic stout. That's not trying to be anything else. Yet also it's like a one like the most popular stout. So that's always a bonus. And then I had this English ale called Hibernation Ale by this brewing company in Colorado, and that was my favorite beer of all time. I think it was called like an English dark ale or something. It's so good. And then I like sours. What else? What other kinds are there? Milk stouts. That's still a stout, but milk stouts are good. Where I live, there's a brewery down the road from me that my brother-in-law loves the beer from. Hey, yeah, if you have a local place, it's probably the best place to get your beer from. I accidentally elbowed my armrest in woke areas. She jumped so hard she hit the blinds. Oh. We do a little jump scaring. I prefer the dairy. That ice cream's worth the price. Yeah, you know, I find that there's some products where like the premium version, relative to the price, like I wouldn't go out of my way for. But with ice cream, I feel like good ice cream is nothing like cheaper ice cream. Like it's like a whole different ballpark. Like Cold Stone. Cold Stone is insane. You get the cookie dough and the brownie batter with the cake batter ice cream. We're having a good time. thing I laughed at was a friend of mine that lives in Cali saw a product from that dairy in his grocery store. So from the town I live in and asked that if that dairy had good products. What a coincidence. Eh? Small world, I guess. Yeah. That reminds me that I thought Grillo's was like a local place. Like I had never seen Grillo's before or anything, and I was at the grocery store and I saw Grillo's, and it was in like a section where like a lot of like smaller brands would be, and I got them, and they're like the best store pickles I've ever had in my life by far. I was like, this local place Grillo's is insane. It's like no, I think they're everywhere now. I just never seen them. Hershey's is on my S list. They bought out Dots Pretzels and then discontinued the cheese curls. Hershey's is on my F tier because their chocolate's bad. Sorry. Oh, you meant shit list. I thought you were saying like S list like in S tier on your like tier list. And I completely misunderstood. That's why I said they're in my F tier. But I realized, I was like, why would you care so much that they discontinued a product? I've heard that the Dots pretzels, like the sticks with the flavors, are really good. People love them. I haven't tried them, but I'm kind of a pretzel hater, but I feel like I would like those. But like otherwise pretzels, like, you know, like bagged pretzels just are like hard bread that are salty, you know? It's like when I'm eating trail mix and there's like, you know, or whatever, like Chex Mix and there's pretzels, I'm like, eh, let's get that out of here. About that. About the pretzels. But like a soft pretzel, like you know, like a baked whatever pretzel, so good. If you ever talk about I want to get it sent to me, $40 cross-country shipping. There's no way that's worth it. That's wacky goofy. I get a peach out. I'll be right back. We do walk away. We do walk away. Right back. Ordered around Christmas time. Same time as placing my full family order. Bulk is the strat. Or like a once a year type of vibe, yeah. Does this sound better to you guys than it did previously? Does that sound better? I think I figured out what happened with the mic. Yeah, does that sound crispier? Does that sound cleaner? What if I even turn up the gain a little bit? Does that sound reasonable? So far, does that sound better than it did? Is that crispy clean? What happened? The Windows changed the volume level on the back end of the microphone. That's why it so randomly like became just like worse. I just turned the gain back up too. Is it okay with the gain up? Is it crispier, cleaner, smoother? So far, it seems like it. Like a clear difference. Do you play Pokemon Red in 3D? What do you mean in 3D? Like, is there a 3D Pokemon Red, like, remake? I guess, like, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, it would be the closest thing to that. I could hear you on 4, and now you're on 20 to hear? Oh, okay, that's great. That should be good. Does it sound better, like, overall? It's good? Okay. I want it to sound, like, crispy. I got used to the old one? Okay. So it says good, so we'll assume it's good for now. Yeah, it's not picking up my keyboard as easy either. Still picking it up, but not as cray-cray. I was like, why in the world? Like, Mike was fine, and then just all of a sudden one day, like, everything sucked, and none of the filters had changed, nothing had changed. I didn't even think to go check, like, the Windows setting for the microphone, which is its own independent thing. Oh, Amy's got maths. She's got quick maths. I need to change my name on Twitch so I can be Sloan again. You can, right? Unless you're on cooldown. You should be able to right now. I think you can just do it on command. Unless you changed it recently. Can we get Sloan Regard same day? hey, you got it. Testing. Orange vanilla suck. Wait. It worked. Did you want it all lowercase? You can mess with the capitalization. Like, it doesn't count as the name change if you change the casing. I'm not sure if you want it to be all lowercase or not, but... Because on YouTube, the S and the R are capitalized. So for continuity's sake, you know. Nice. Everything's right with the universe now. When will you MEWTWO? You know, it's a great question. 7357. The world may never know. We did MEWTWO yesterday. We're doing it today. We're probably doing it tomorrow. We were definitely doing it tomorrow, assuming I stream. What are we doing? What's going on? So many fun features on Twitch. Quality of life improvement. It really is, yeah. Like, I think YouTube does a couple things right. Like, for example, not having to be subscribed to someone in order to rewind their stream. I think it's wild that you can't rewind a stream, considering you can go to someone's channel and while they're streaming, look at the VOD, which would be the same as rewinding, but they just make it incredibly difficult. And they used to never be able to do it, but now it's hidden behind subscriptions, and I just don't think that makes sense. You know, like, I get you're trying to compel people to subscribe, you're trying to make more money, trying to get more cuts of subscriptions, but like, I don't think that's the way. I don't think a basic, normal, standard feature of video should be hidden behind a paywall. That's just a little wacky goofy. Yeah, a couple other things are solid on YouTube, but which overall, just the viewing experience, I think, is significantly better. So, let me get goodbye to that. They might not be fully thawed. Feel good? The center would be really what wouldn't be thawed. Although some people eat them frozen. Homogenized. That's good. I mean, it tastes like a peanut butter jelly. I like how firm the white bread is. It doesn't have too much give. It's a good texture. The ratio of peanut butter to jelly is good. You don't like the ratio? Oh, peanut butter hater here. Alright, I guess I might lose power. What if I got the shiny and then the power went out? 2 to 1 is crazy. I will say when I was younger, for moisture purposes, I liked slightly more jelly. But not a 2 to 1 is crazy. It's wacky goofy. That doesn't mean I do it, but I think it's best. So you would prefer that, but then you just wouldn't do it? You would just settle for a subpar sandwich to your taste buds? Jelly has a lot of sugar. Like, a majority of sugar in that thing is from the jelly. There's a little bit in the bread. I've always been like, yeah, it needs more jelly. Yeah. I'll eat one of those as a lunch, though. That'd be a nice little lunch. A little fat, little carbs, little sugar. Little complex carb, little simple carb, little fruit, health. I will say, by the way, the tortillas that I got looked really good and aren't as good as those other ones we had. Those other ones we had are like the best store tortilla I've ever had, just like relative to how good they can be. The ones I got, they're okay. They're like fine. They're not as good, that's for sure. So we'll have to get the other ones next time. I'm still gonna eat these. I mean, it was only like $5 for that fat pack of them, but we'll get through them. The tortillas, the corn. Oh, they just went for flour. Yeah, I figured, and that's why I made 4 corn tortillas. Because I thought you might eat one. And then I was like, I'll eat 2, probably. But then in the moment, I was like, well, like maybe they'll want the corn tortillas. So like I only used 1. And then I had this 1 corn tortilla was eaten total. Show me the green-tailed mama. Grok, show me what shiny MEWTWO looks like, because I have no idea. Should be 0%. You've never even heard of Japan. You don't even know what Japan is. You're surprised to hear that it exists. A lot of the time, I think people think of the weeb meter as like, oh, this is how much you like anime, but I think you can like anime and be at 0%. And the reason why is that the original use of the term weeaboo was specifically for people who thought that Japan had superior culture and like everything to everyone else. right? So it was more of a, I think Japan is superior to everyone else, and you also have to be from outside of Japan as well. You can't be a Japan native. That would not make you a weeb. That would make you a nationalist. So, and it got popularized, or at least was, or maybe was created on like 4chan probably. What are you doing back here? And it was popularized because that website was filled with so many people who thought Japan had superior culture, you know. And yeah, so I think like that's more what being a weeb is being like, oh, I like anime, and it's the best form of media, and it's so much better than every other form of media than anybody else makes, because they just do things right in Japan. And then like, oh, their food's like the best, like sushi's the best, and like karage's the best fried chicken, and you know, stuff like that. I'm probably at like, I would say like 30%, because I think there are some aspects of Japanese culture specifically that I really resonate with. Like, for example, no matter where you go, if there's an employee doing something, they're probably doing it extremely well, whatever they're doing. Like, the whole thing about work in Japan, about employment, is that, or just kind of anything that you do, is that you want to be the best at it, that you can be. I think it's the soda talking. I haven't drank soda either. This is sparkling water. Mason Perrier lime sparkling water. I don't really drink soda. It's too much sugar. And then even diet soda, I don't really like the taste. I don't really like the taste of artificial sweeteners. I'm just not a huge fan. Weeb activities. But yeah, so like, for example, if you go to like a fast food restaurant, you'll get better fast food than you would get here, because people just kind of care about what they do. Even if they're not getting paid amazingly, even if they're getting paid minimum wage or whatever. Hello, random fanboy lover. I love your name. It's a great name. Not specific, it's random. It is end stream time, though. I don't think we're going to raid on Twitch. No raid on Twitch. I appreciate you guys being here. I love the Gen 2 remakes. Yeah, me too. They're really sick. I made a brand new Pokemon move, which I think is a great idea. You'll be the judge of that. Ooh, I was just about to end. You might have to say it real quick. I'll delay ending for a minute so you can tell me. Slush Rush, 100 power. Only problem, Slush Rush is a existing ability? Is it not? So, might need to work on the name. 100 power, Water, Ice, special move. Water / Ice. It is an ability. Okay, we'll need to work on the name. Water / Ice? I don't think you appreciate me being here. I'm like neutral. I'm like neutral on it. What's the accuracy? What's chilling? Swift Swim for hail, yeah. Which I guess is snow now. Doesn't affect fire types. The only thing I could think of. Oh, like ice, spice. Hear me out. God, ice spice. Is it water or is it ice? Is it a dual type move? Because there's only one of those that exists as far as I know, which is Flying Press. It's a dual type move like Flying Press. Okay. 100 base power? What's chilling? How much have you been shiny hunting Mewtwo? We're at about 22,000 encounters now, so it's been a while. It's been 136 hours. Bing chillin'. Name it Bing chillin'. It cools down the Pokemon, allows for a guaranteed freeze. Wait, what? Cools down the Pokemon, which allows for a guaranteed freeze? Wait, so if they get hit by another ice move, does it freeze them if that move has a freeze chance? Is that the idea? Like, they get hit by it, they have it. And then if you hit them with a move that then has a freeze chance, then it guarantees the freeze. If a move has a... So you would run, like, Slush Rush or Ice Spice, I'm sorry, and then you would, like, have Ice Beam or something. Or, like, Blizzard. I would say a little strong. As a signature move, I think it would be reasonable enough on like a not great Pokemon. Kind of like how you give like Gigaton Hammer to Tinkaton, but it's not a great overall Pokemon stat-wise, but then that kind of brings it to be a slightly more feasible Pokemon. I think you probably have to decrease the base power. I think you need lower accuracy if you're gonna give a guaranteed freeze. A guaranteed freeze is incredibly like unbalanced, and so you would need to have a lot of downsides. Like honestly, if the move just made it to where if that Pokemon on the next turn, just for one turn, got hit by an ice move and it would freeze them unless they switch out, that would be overpowered. So having it do damage at 100% accuracy with dual typing, and both of them are good attacking types, and it lasting multiple turns, I think maybe it's a little overtuned. That's the only thing, right? I think the key to making a good fake Pokemon move is to have finesse with it. And I think the worst way to not have finesse is to overtune. Now, there are some ridiculous moves in Pokemon, right? But usually there's the context of like the Pokemon it's on. Like Gigaton Hammer. It's a great example. Gigaton Hammer. Or like Behemoth Blade is maybe a little overtuned. I not really. It's a 100 power steel move. It's not even that. Yeah. Let's think. A Glacial Lance and the one that Spectre Ghost Rider has, or whatever. Calyrex Ghost Rider. Chilling lasts one turn. It can be increased to 2 by having rain and snow. Okay. Okay, that part's reasonable then. I think you can't have it be 100 power, and I think it can't be 100% accurate. I think we go like 50 base power and 80% accurate. And if it hits, it applies chilling. And if you're in rain, hail, or snow, cool. And if it's a fire type, it doesn't work. That part's fine. And then at that point, you're basically just forcing a switch. Because you're like, I'm going to click an ice move and it'll freeze you. And because freeze is ridiculous. If you can consistently get freeze, it would be a very viable competitive strategy. 80 power, 85 accuracy. I'd say it's still a little overtuned, but if you put it on a mid Pokemon, then it would be reasonable. Because, I mean, people click, like, Surf. It's just 85 base power and 100% accuracy, and that's a good move, you know? Lapras? Yeah, Lapras kind of needs something. Lapras needs something, so. Well, good talking about it, though. I'm going to go now. We got to go. I got to go. But I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for chatting, chilling, lurking, whatever you were doing. We'll be back tomorrow. We should be. More MEWTWO, I think. And, yeah. You gamers have a good night. I'll see you next time. Later, gamers. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.